Hey everybody, Ricky here. This is going to be part 2 of my chemical peel video. I am fully recovered from the peel at this point, so I'm going to give you guys a day-by-day update through the healing process. I did realize watching the first one that I did that I didn't go over contraindications, reasons not to get a chemical peel, so we'll go over that too. I also realized, that first video was pretty long, so I appreciate anyone who watched it to the end, like really, truly. I'm going to start editing them, okay? They won't all be that long. Okay, so reasons not to get a chemical peel. Remember, it is a controlled injury to the skin, so you're essentially causing a chemical burn deliberately to the top layer of skin so that the lower levels of your skin, when they start the healing process, that will make your skin act younger. So getting a peel, the benefits from it last about a month or two, maybe 3 months. The stronger peels are going to have longer lasting effects than the lighter peels, so it really does depend what you're doing. But getting them done regularly enough on some sort of a schedule will have benefits that last longer than just doing one once. Okay? So reasons not to get one, since it is a chemical burn, you can't do a chemical burn on top of a sunburn. So sunburn is going to be the biggest reason not to get a peel. Another one is going to be compromised barrier function on your skin. So that's kind of a longer list of different conditions. That's either skin that's been overexfoliated, like you're using scrubs too much on your face, or you are using harsh acids all the time already. Like if you're doing like a 15% glycolic acid toner every single day of the week, or even twice a day, like your skin might be too compromised already to do a chemical peel on top of it. Not to mention that those are already peeling agents, so it's like if you're doing peeling agents every single day for weeks on end, the very top layer of your skin is already pretty thin. Like, why are you going to assault it with more acid? You know what I mean? Compromised barrier function can also be from skin that's cleansed too much. If you've got a cleanser that's too strong for your skin, or you're using it with hot water. So, if you're really, really stripping your skin of all of its natural oils every single day of the week, your skin is compromised and products go in way too deep. And that's a reason not to get a chemical peel, because the acids are going to go in much deeper than they're supposed to. That increases your risk of getting, legitimate burns from it or getting scarred from it. And I don't want to be the person that ever does that to somebody. So if I see skin that isn't behaving properly, I'm going to recommend they do something else and probably talk about adjusting their home care because they're doing something that's wrong. So compromised barrier is usually something that the person is doing wrong themselves, but there can be instances where your skin is just that compromised and you just need to work on adjusting your home care and getting your skin back into balance before doing anything like that. Other reasons not to get a chemical peel would be physical injuries to the area. If you just got a cut on your face, not the time to get a chemical peel done. I mean, I had mentioned for men not shaving the same day. That kind of goes along with that too. Anything where there's little tiny cuts in the skin, not really a good time to get a peel. That's not 100% true in the case of like acne. Like if you have really bad acne and there's some that are ruptured, I mean, I might go over that with a peel in some instances, but not usually. And, you could also jump around. It depends. Like if there's like a scar here, I could still do something on the rest of the face. It just depends. If your skin heals really poorly, if you have like really advanced diabetes or something like that, generally not a good idea to do really aggressive things. Another reason not to get a peel is just your social life. If you psychologically can't handle your skin looking funky for a week, this is not the procedure for you. And then also if you know that you're going to be outside for the next week, because it is a controlled injury to the skin, controlled chemical burn, you're more prone to sunburn the week that you do it. So if you're an athlete and you're playing sports outdoors all the time, really not a good choice for you. If you're like a personal trainer and you're working out all the time for your work, probably not a good idea. I actually one time had a lady getting a chemical peel done, and I had mentioned to her, I was already starting, so like there was already acid on her face, and then I had mentioned to her, like, I don't really want you sweating for about 4 hours, and she said, oh, I have a spin class right after this. I'm teaching it. And I was like, no, you don't. So she had to immediately call work and be like, I can't come in. Which, I mean, that was both of our faults. It was my fault for not asking those questions sooner, and it was also her fault for not disclosing it to me until it was too late. But anyway, I think those are, for the most part, reasons not to get a peel. Yeah, it's, if your skin's really sensitive to chemicals, probably not a good idea. If your skin's already injured, whether that's sunburn or a cut or something, not a good idea. Socially, if you can't handle the visible peeling, then it's probably not a good idea, unless you know that you're not leaving the house and you're staying at home. I mean, yeah, if you plan it right, that's fine. But, if psychologically you know that you can't handle looking funky, then it's probably not a good idea for you. And then skin that's compromised in any way, whether that's bad home care or something like that. So this coming video is going to be day-by-day progression. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm doing as far as my home care goes while I'm recovering from the peel, etc. There is a surprise at the very end on the very last video, so stay tuned for that. I think you'll enjoy it. Don't forget that if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon if you want notifications for every time I post. I'm going to try to get into more of a regular schedule. I've got some other videos planned. And don't forget to follow me on social media. My Instagram handle is Riki Dementia. That's R-I-K-I Dementia, just like the disease. That's where I'm going to be the most active, is on Instagram. I also have Twitter, twitter.com/nerdyaesthetic. I will have the URLs down below, and let's get into it. Hi, so today is day 2. It's exactly 24 hours since I did the peel. I'm going to get in a little bit closer so you can see my face. I do have some red patches. These are all totally normal. It's pretty patchy, but that's usually expected. Unless you're doing very, very deep peels, it's pretty normal for the depth to be kind of all over the place. It's totally normal to have hot spots, unless you're doing the really aggressive peels that are going to obliterate everything. So remember, I did 2 coats of a 35% lactic, 7% salicylic peel, and then 2 coats of a 10% TCA. So even though TCA is one of the ingredients that can go really deep, 10% is not very strong. So I was more doing the lactic to kind of just break through and let that 10% go deeper than it normally would. So today, skincare-wise, what I did, I used Eminence Stone Crop Cleansing Oil as my face wash. It's very gentle. Skin after a peel is really dry, so I don't want to use anything that's foamy or anything that's gritty. You want to keep it pretty soft. And then after that, I also used the Eminence Birch Water Purifying Essence, which is kind of like a serum. It's pretty watery, but it's just a hydrator. It has a mushroom base to it, so it's just a water binder. And then this is what I'm using as a moisturizer just the week of a peel, Elta MD's SPF 30. This normally comes in a smaller jar, and it'll say on it that it's also a post-procedure cream. So it is really nice after microdermabrasion or chemical peels, because it's a sunscreen, but it's got hyaluronic acid in it and some other moisturizing base to it. So after a peel, it's really important to wear sunscreen because your skin is more sun sensitive. You're more likely to burn. And if you're outside for an extended amount of time, the week you're recovering from a chemical peel, you can actually cause hyperpigmentation on top of it because you have thin, vulnerable skin. So sunscreen's really, really important. So let me get a little bit closer again. So yeah, most of the hot spots are on my cheeks. That's where I feel it the most. Remember when I did the peel, I had those 3 dots that appeared right here? Today, I can feel rough patches in exactly those same spots. Those were the only spots where I actually had frosting. So the other spots now where you're seeing redness, it meant that the peel went deeper on those spots, but I didn't get actual frosting, so it didn't go through the entire epidermis. I've basically just peeled the top few layers of my epidermis, which is fine. And I'm a peel veteran at this point, so it's hard to get that really sheet level of peeling. I'm not gonna look like a snake. It's hard to get my skin to do that. Today, I just feel really tight. Your skin kind of compresses after a chemical peel, so it's hard to move my face in certain ways. I will check in with you guys in the next coming days. Hey, it's time for the day 3 update. Today, I am much redder and much drier than the day before. It's mostly on the left side of my face. You can actually see a perfect line of where the peel was applied. My skin is very dry all over right now, so it's like I feel dry here, I feel dry right through here. This is super crusty. Other than some random flakes, I don't have any visible peeling yet. Like, there was one moment where I had barely touched my face and it looked like dandruff fell off, but other than that, not too bad. Yeah, it went deeper than I thought it would, but that's good. It's hard to get my skin to peel. I mean, yeah, I've done a lot at this point. Another thing I'm noticing, and you can probably see it, is like all the sun damage that I've gotten over the years is more visible right now than usual. Like, look at all these freckles. Normally I don't have that many visible freckles, but again, peels do cause skin compression. So the pigment that's in 10 or 12 layers of skin starts to get compressed down while the skin is dying from the peel. So you get layers of melanin that are more visible than usual. So you do just see tons of freckling. Look at that. Yeah, I don't normally have that much sun damage on my forehead that's visible, but yeah, so I expect tomorrow I'll probably have some visible patches of peeling. Hey, I wanted to give you guys a mini update. So today is day 3.5. It's not quite at 4 full days. It's not quite at 96 hours. This is the morning after I recorded that last update. And I am peeling. Look at that. So it's mostly worse around the nose. It is also pretty bad in my beard. I'm going to run the electric trimmer over my beard so you guys can get a better look as the days progress. It's not really safe to shave with a regular razor at this point because that would exfoliate on top of the peel, and you don't exfoliate the week that you're recovering from a peel. My forehead is also really dry. You can see it's getting kind of leathery texture, especially when I move my face. Look at that. And like before, that patch is still red and really dry. But yeah, it's starting. I started putting just pure African shea butter on my face, trying to keep the peely bits in place as much as possible. Hey, we are officially at the 4-day mark. It's the evening now. I'm gonna get a little bit closer here. So now I am at the point where when I wash my face, it starts to bead up and little pieces of skin come off. So I'm sure you saw the clip from earlier today. All that crusty stuff is already starting to peel off. And I did trim my beard. I'll let you look. It's pretty crusty in my beard. Yeah, that one spot on my left is still pretty red. So we'll see what happens there. Look at my forehead again. My forehead is pretty dry. Yeah, you can see the crepey texture when I try to move it. Yeah. Usually the forehead doesn't peel visibly. It's more just dry, flaky skin that slowly flakes off. But yeah, around the nose, it's been like actual chunks of skin coming off. So I'm still using that Stone Crop cleansing oil, but I'm noticing when I use it that little pieces of skin come off. It's not that big a deal. I did get on the elliptical today, and I probably shouldn't have. When I started to sweat, if it got under any of the peely bits and touched that baby skin underneath, like right in here, it started to itch and sting a little bit. So lesson learned there. I wasn't entirely sure of that one. I usually tell clients not to work out too much, but I couldn't resist. So we've been, stuck at home these past few days, so I couldn't help myself. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Hi, it's day 5. This is my 4th time trying to record this. My camera keeps going on the fritz, so fingers crossed. Today, we are starting to get into the home stretch. So most of my skin around the nose is pretty good. There's actually, you can see it on the camera, there's some skin on my forehead which is peeling, which that's pretty exciting because it's actually usually pretty hard to get that skin to peel. So up close, sorry, I'm trying not to get washed out. The tip of my nose was visibly peeling today. There's still some bits on my cheeks. And then out here towards the side, that skin is very dry. It's not quite peeling yet, but it'll get there. My left side is a little bit drier and reacted more than my right side. That's most likely because I'm left-handed, so I put the chemicals there first. They'll get a bigger amount of the chemicals. When I do them on clients, I actually swap where each layer of peel goes. So it's like I start here, then I start here, then I start here, then I start here, just to kind of even everything out, because it's totally normal to accidentally get a hot spot. So instead of doing the elliptical today, I learned my lesson, can't sweat too much just yet. So instead I took the dogs to the park and I walked them for an hour. Now normally I tell people, not to get peels in the spring and not to be outside too much. But since we have to wear masks outside anyway, I actually used my face shield. So I do have SPF 30 on today. And then I pulled this up all the way here and then had my hoodie on. So the only skin that was visible to the sun today was my eyes and then my tattoos. So I didn't do too bad. Yeah, normally, you don't want to be outside that long with a peel, but I did okay. Hi, it's day 6. Today was pretty gnarly with how much everything peeled. This morning when I woke up, there was dead skin all over the pillowcases, all over my black t-shirt. And then when I washed my face this morning, after I woke up, it was like dead skin all over the place. There's some baby skin right in here. Try and see if you can see it. So like there's still some of that dry, compressed skin with the dark age spots on it on each side, but then like that skin right in the middle here, that is the soft baby skin. So to the naked eye, I don't really have that many age spots normally, but with this peel, they're kind of hyper visible for a little bit, but that's obviously going to go away. You can see it. I keep getting washed out. I apologize. It's this camera. I'm fair, but I'm not that fair. Like, there we go. You can kind of see it right there. Yeah, you can see it. You can see how dry and crusty that is. Yeah, it's still mostly worse on the left side than the right side, but I already explained why that was. My forehead's mostly there. It's pretty much just right here that's still kind of dry and crusty. Through here, it's mostly done. I did have some bits that were visible on the tip of my nose, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with how it's going. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey, it is day 7 after the peel. I am pretty much at the point where everything is done. There's like the tiniest amount of dry skin on the very edges of my face, but everything on the cheeks is all done, and my forehead feels pretty close to normal at this point. So I'll come in a little bit closer. I will admit I have been drinking a little bit today, and I do get the Asian flush reaction, so the red is totally normal. Maybe I'll do a video on just Asian flush reaction. That might be a little bit entertaining. But anyway. Yeah, so at this point, I am all in the clear. My dog is bothering me. Oh, look at that. Hey, this is Bear. He's a handful. So I will see you guys in the next video.